Now in this video, we are going to do Form 5 Chapter 10 essay practice, and the questions here I'm doing are specifically from 2025 punya state trial questions lah. So this chapter actually, right, when we come out, right, usually is essay. And I think that this year, a lot of trials and also maybe SPM quite high chance lah. So let's practice together lah. Now this chapter, right, you might think that I actually use common sense can answer already, but actually most of the time, right, a lot of answers must follow like from textbook and schema. So it's not like you 100% use common sense, you can answer everything. You need a bit of knowledge also. Okay, so I'm here to tell you like which part you must use what kind of answers lah. Okay, for example, the first question they asked us here, explain 3 practices that contribute towards environment sustainability based on the diagram. So based on the diagram, they're giving us the what 5R, 3R. So even though they say practices based on environment sustainability, but the question give us 5R, 3R. So you only can say the what reuse, recycle, and the other 2R is the repair, rethink lah. Which I think the easiest one is the reduce, recycle. Okay, here's some of the questions, right? I already put the answer here and I still explain that because quite long essay ma. So you just have to literally explain 3 marks only ma. So just say recycle, then explain a bit. Recycle items that can no longer be used into other materials, like you recycle paper. Okay, let's say if this question is more than 3 marks, then probably you need to give example. For example, you might need to say recycle old newspaper, recycle aluminium cans. Reduce means usually we reduce things that we don't need to buy, like plastic bag lah. Reduce purchase of items such as plastic to reduce waste, and reuse certain items that are still in good condition, like probably those Tupperware plastic bottle you can use a few times before throwing it away. Now, however, usually they also like to ask like that, explain the practice and how can it contribute to environment sustainability. Means what is the benefit? Why is this good for the environment? So for example, you can then say, okay, reduce, reuse, recycle, actually contribution is the same one. For example, you can say, I get to reduce waste at landfill. So if there's less waste, less rubbish out there, you get to reduce pollution, right? Because rubbish causes a lot of like water, soil pollution. So reduce soil, water pollution. What else you can say is that now, if I recycle something or I reduce use of plastic, all these things, right, you need to use resources of earth. So you also can say you save natural resources in earth law. So these are the example of contribution from 5R. If they ask you like, how can it contribute? Yeah, sometimes they like to ask this one, which later we'll do a bit of like this. Okay, then next we have something here called growing crops in vertically stacked layers. So explain the benefits. Okay, I want you to see this question carefully because most of the time, right, question will ask growing. What's the benefit of a vertical garden? Okay, vertical garden are those things that you see usually in those kind of rooftop gardens, those kind of what balconies. Okay, this one is growing crops vertically. Crops means like your vegetable fruits, like can eat one. So if the question just asks vertical garden, okay, you can say provide oxygen, improve air quality. But now they're asking about crops, right? You need to relate a bit more to like food production. So if I grow crops vertically means, right, I don't need farm also can grow vegetable. I can grow this at home, at office building, hotel rooftops, for example. So number one, you can say you get to increase supply of food. Okay, or there's continuous food supply. So therefore, you get to overcome food shortage problem, because sometimes some places, you know, we have lack of food supply, so this can overcome. So other than relying on farms, sometimes I also can rely on these kind of things. And then you also can use the like vertical garden punya point. So planting these like on rooftop of office building, hotel buildings, balconies, right, can, you know, provide more oxygen, improve air quality. We can say that. Improve air quality. And plants absorb CO2, which cause greenhouse effect and, you know, excess heat. So you can say you also can provide a cooling effect, reduce greenhouse effect. And then okay, other than that, right, okay, go back to crops. There's a few more things you still can talk about the crops. If I grow crops like vertically, sometimes this can be grown indoors. So I can avoid these crops sometimes being destroyed by bad weather, so I don't have wastage. So I can reduce wastage of food because you can prevent crops destroyed by bad weather. Other than that, right, since I plant it indoors, sometimes in greenhouse like that, right, I can control the condition. So maybe I can use artificial light, give it more light so you can grow more healthier, faster. Yeah, so you can, okay, add one more here, number 7, you can say conditions such as, light, temperature can be controlled. Yeah, so these are the few examples lah. This one 7 marks actually considered quite a lot. Okay, then next, we have something called food security. Which I think this is kind of a weird topic to include into bio. Like, honestly, this thing I just don't quite like teaching because it's more like economy rather than bio. So our subject already got so many things, right? You still want to add this kind of things inside, but okay, never mind. It's still part of syllabus, means we still need to know lah. So let me teach you this here. So I should go to the question. Just ask us to elaborate 2 components of food security that needs to be focused by the responsible authorities to overcome the problem. Okay, so food security means, right, the ability of your country to always produce food for the people. So there are 4 components of food security, which they only want 2. Okay, I'm going to mention the 2 easier one first, and I'll explain the rest also. So the 2 most easier ones is these 2, availability and access. So first, you got to ensure that your country always have food available. Availability means 有没有食物, ada makanan or tidak, sedia or not. So there is food availability. So if you mention food availability, that's one of the component, 1 mark already. Okay, then you need to explain. Means number 1, your country must be always able to supply food. So you must say, ensure there is constant food supply or sufficient food supply. And food, usually where we go and get it, we get it from grocery stores. So this is called local market. And sometimes we can also import food from other countries. Like Singapore, they don't really plant their own crops, usually they import. So you must say also ensure there is access, means now I'm able to produce food already, but can my people access this food? Usually it's determined by economy. I mean, like how is it? Living standard, means your people got money to get food or not. Okay, but this one don't need to explain so much. So you just explain, say food access means ensure food can be always easily accessed, such as controlling price of the food, make sure your people have job, have money. So you just say ensure food can be easily obtained. These 2 access. Then utilization and usage. Okay, this one also actually got a lot of points you can say for this one, but this one quite hard. Utilization and usage means, right, now when I get the food already, is it clean? Is it nutritious? Is it harmful? When I eat it, will I die tomorrow? So food utilization, food usage, you can write this explanation. So ensure there is clean water and food supply. It's clean, means I eat it, you won't get sick. Ensure individual can get enough nutrients, means that it is nutritious. Okay, and ensure the food is being processed properly. So it's sort of like clean like that also. There's proper food processing method. So this food you eat already, you get nutrients, you won't die because it's dirty or whatsoever lah. So this is under food usage. Now food stability, right, is actually meant all of this. So can I constantly stably all the time have food my people can access and get clean food or not? No matter what, I can always have this. So basically, I just say this one, ensure there is access to nutrients and food at all times. Nutritious food. Access to nutritious food at all times. So the keyword is all times. Can I make sure that food is available, can access, is healthy and clean all the time? So that is stability. But usually, this 3 is more than enough already lah. Okay, now the next question is about green building. Okay, later I got one better question about green building. So this one I skip first. The answer is more or less the same. Okay. By the way, this notes is already in the link below. There's a PDF for this. I can go and click and get it yourself. Okay. Then this one I skip. You can try yourself. Okay, we go to this one, Malacca question. Okay, they ask about green technology. Now, green technology basically is a technology that it is environmental friendly, let's say for example. Okay, but what is the definition? So there is 3 points that our schema give, but Of course, you only need to write 2. Usually, definition maximum is like 2 marks only. So let's say if you have a technology. So I mentioned development of products, equipment, or system. Now, I'm not quite sure whether you need to write all these 3 or just write 1 can already. Yeah, that's why this one maybe a bit hard to get because you need to write product, equipment, system. Okay, but never mind. The other 2 is make more sense a bit and easier to remember. So this technology must be able to preserve the environment, means it doesn't harm the environment, got no pollution, it's very clean, and it reduces negative impacts of human activities. So for example, let's say I have a electric car. Electric car doesn't produce greenhouse gas air pollution, so it preserves the environment and reduce negative impact. So this 2 is the key one, quite easy to remember. Then they ask here, discuss the benefits of practices practiced by the farmer. Now, if you look at this question, the green technology practice, which I will mention more about green technology practice, this thing in a while, later there's one question, is actually using food waste to make kitchen compost. Means use 剩余的食物 to 做肥料啦. Okay, mix a bit Chinese. Means use like leftover food to make fertilizer. Okay, so this is one of a very common green technology I like to ask. So what is the benefit of this? Now, number 1, sometimes rotten vegetables and fruits need to throw away. Very wasting. Okay, and when I throw away, there's a lot of rubbish. But if I use these rotten fruits or vegetables I cannot finish, I make it into fertilizer. Number 1, I reduce food waste. Number 2, I reduce less rubbish in my rubbish bin and my landfill. So this is actually one of the most important points. Okay, here I write a few already. Reduce waste at landfill. Now, and fertilizers produced using compost, is actually more beneficial for the soil and plant. So you can say it increases soil fertility, or actually soil quality also can. Means you make the soil more nutritious. Reduce use of chemical fertilizer. Yeah, you can use this to replace chemical fertilizer, which chemical fertilizer, inside got chemical, means you pollute the water. Sometimes if it rains, it goes into the drain, goes into the river, you pollute the water. So therefore, you can reduce water and also properly soil pollution. And since it is made up of something that is natural, you get to reduce use of chemicals, right? So therefore, it is environmental friendly. Okay, and remember I told you that this kind of fertilizer is more healthy. So we forgot to talk about the crops also. This basically increase health and growth of crops. And one more you can say also, you get to reduce wasting of food, right? Food wastage, right? We don't waste food, we use it to mix something else. So this kind of fertilizer, natural fertilizer, compost fertilizer, these are the benefits you can say. Now, then here is the green building question that I was saying just now. So this green building question, okay, this question, they really give us like the aspect of a green building. Just now that question, you have to suggest the aspect and then explain. Okay, so we use this question to mention the aspect of a green building. Okay, the easiest one is renewable energy, solar panel. So number 1, a green building is green when it uses renewable energy, solar panel. So you explain how solar panel is a renewable energy. So for this question, since they already give you the design, the aspect, so writing this got no marks. Just now that question, if you say use solar panel, you get 1 mark. Okay, but you need to explain which is a renewable energy. Renewable energy is always a clean source of energy. Yeah, you can say that also is clean source of energy, and you get to reduce air pollution because electricity generally are produced by burning coal and burning fossil fuel. So you get to reduce air pollution or reduce release of carbon dioxide also can. Okay, then glass wall. Okay, this was one of my favorite one because if I have a lot of big glass wall, light can enter easily. So I get to reduce the use of electricity. So this one you can say allow entry of natural lighting, and basically this can help me save electricity, save energy during the day. Then a lot of things here you can say that. So far I read that there are around like 4 to 5 marks already. Now if I use this one, LED light, this is an energy efficient light. or energy efficient electrical appliances. So it use less electricity means conserve energy, similar to this law. So this is an energy efficient electrical appliances. So same, I get to conserve energy, conserve electricity also can. Rainwater storage tank, I can use this to water plants, wash my toilet, don't take and drink lah. Rainwater is not 100% clean one, so I get to conserve water. Conserve water. If my building got system to help me use rainwater, it means I save water. So save water, save energy is a green building punya aspect. Okay, so you can say that. Then what else you can say is air ventilator produce cooling effect. So I can say reduce use of aircon. So same, conserve electricity. Tree planting pun boleh cakap just like just now the what vertical garden, vertical crop that one. So I get to also increase air quality. You also can say produce cooling effect. So you get to use less aircon because aircon is very energy consuming one. So you get to reduce use of air conditioner or conditioning. Then this also can lead to reduce air pollution, reduce release of carbon dioxide. You also can say that, okay, just we did say CO2, right? Yeah, so you can say you can reduce release of carbon dioxide. Okay, a bit messy here lah, but you get the points. Okay, this one actually got schema and you can go and see that together with the questions in PDF below. So green building is that simple. Then actually you got space, right? Okay, never mind. Another food security question. So for food security, just like just now that one, right? You just need to know every aspect got what example. So they asked you to suggest the role that can be played by school canteen in to fulfill responsibilities in achieving food security. So you just need to explain everyone only. So for food availability, so make sure there is constant food supply. Make sure your canteen always get food, ensure just like just now there is constant food supply. Make sure your canteen every day also got food. Access means ensure food can be easily obtained. Then maybe you can give an example such as control the price. Okay, so ensure the food can be, okay, I change color lah. This one is accessory. Can be easily obtained, such as controlling food prices. And then utilization is the one you can mention the most. Make sure it's clean, nutritious, and you prepare it properly. So I'm just going to copy just now that one. Feel lah. Clean water supply. Make sure the students eat really got enough nutrients. Make sure you got balanced diet and have proper food processing method. So this 3 is good enough already. Okay, more than enough points. Then we do a few more here. Okay, Pahang paper. Okay, now it's justify practices that carry out by residents to maintain environment sustainability in the area. So this question is about practices of environment sustainability. So in our textbook, there are specific practices which is at 10.3. So, but this question 10 marks, right? You don't just have to state not just have to state the practices, but you got to explain how does this help to maintain environment sustainability. For example, just now the 5R that one. So if I say practice 5R, okay, don't give the example. You don't say, oh, recycle the paper, reuse, reduce. Okay, don't you write those already? Practice typo. Just say the contribution. So if I practice 5R, I can then reduce waste at landfill. That's rubbish ma. I can conserve or save natural resources, for example. Those are the things. And then other than practice 5R, eco-friendly transport. So you can say practice use of eco-friendly transport or environmental friendly transport. Then you give one example. Don't so many, because example only got 1 mark maximum. Even the practice 5R just now, right, you write what recycle art, it's like 1 mark only. So you don't go explain so many. So yeah, this one I didn't write. That one I didn't write the example lah. So this one we can say practice use of eco-friendly transport, such as electric vehicles, because electric vehicles, eco-friendly transport reduce carbon emission. So I get to reduce greenhouse effect. You also can say reduce air pollution. Okay, but if let's say I got like 7 marks already, no joke, you can see the schema, and these are exactly the points they give. Okay, then another thing you can say, renewable energy. Use renewable energy is also a green practice. So I can say practice use of alternative. This is how you write alternative. Renewable energy. Then give an example such as solar energy. So just like the green building just now we mentioned, which is cleaner source of energy. So I get to reduce air pollution. Banyak kita boleh cakap. So this is only 3 examples. We also got what biological control. Biological control basically reduce use of the chemical pesticides. So you reduce soil water pollution, and just now biological control. So other than that, at home, right, you also can practice conserve electricity, conserve water. This one also all are different practice that you can explain. But usually this 3 is my favorite because can explain banyak benda. Next. Okay. This one, I want you to listen carefully. Green technology. Method using concept of green technology that can be applied to reduce food waste. Now, sometimes question will ask, what suggest the practices based on green technology? So green technology practice, a lot of y'all will confuse it with practices of environment sustainability. Now, it's 2 different things. Green technology practice means at home, right, what can I do which is like a green technology? Okay, this one according to our textbook, right, there's only 5 specific answers. So this one is not like, you go and build a solar panel. You cannot build your own solar panel. So it's not like solar panel, electric vehicle. That one I know is green technology, but now they want you to suggest practice you can do at home. For example, food waste. How can you use food waste to create a green technology? So according to our schema or our textbook, right? Okay, there's only 5 answers. I say number 1. Okay, I type here, which is we can say use fruit waste. So like 水果皮, fruit punya peel, fruits lah, basically rotten fruits they want to throw away to make eco enzyme. Eco enzyme is used to clean your kitchen sink punya drain, to unclog it, to clean the oil lah. So we can say as cleaning agent. This will give you another mark. Secondly, just like just now, I use food that I want to throw away to make fertilizer. However, remember, there are 2 types of fertilizer under green technology. One of it is just now the one. So I say use food waste or kitchen waste to make natural fertilizer. And the other one is also use food waste, or you want to say food waste and kitchen waste up together to make another one is called foliar, liquid foliar fertilizer. Foliar. This fertilizer, sometimes they might ask you to explain, which is sprayed directly onto the leaves. So it can be absorbed faster and the plant actually can grow faster. So this one I just write here lah, is applied directly to leaves. Okay, so we have 3 practices already. Which usually this 3 is the easier one you can actually do at home. Okay, the other 2 not so much, but we will say use a banana peel to make flour to produce what we call as bioplastic. Banana peel. Bioplastic are those kind of biodegradable plastic. Use soft kind and breaks easily one. And one more is make biogas. A biogas is using animal waste, which animal punya poop. But this 1, 2, 3, 4 are the more common ones. So here I go more than 4 marks already lah. Now sometimes they might ask you what's the advantage. So the advantage is similar to the environment sustainability punya advantage, which for example this is eco-friendly. you reduce water pollution because I don't use chemical. Example lah. Okay, then here got one key but question. I already put the answers here lah, which is they ask us to explain how media play a role in solving this environmental problem based on communication aspect. So this one very key but okay. So for those who want to study mass comm, okay, this is basically for you. So nowadays, the answer also very atas already. Social media. So use social media to raise awareness. So let's say if you're an influencer, then you can talk about how to protect the environment, reduce pollution, and people see your content and people are okay, because you influencer, you a lot of follower so you need to influence people in the right way and do those kind of stupid trends or pranks. Okay, so involve influencers to set good example. It's actually literally schema give me an answer. Sometimes you can use those governments, sometimes they go create those short films to educate public. So these are all from communication aspect. I use media, use YouTube and the Instagram. So coordinate, I use Instagram to coordinate a gotong royong activity or clean up activity in a residential area, clean the household or the housing area, punya longgang, taman and so on. And sometimes you can also use this one. Okay, this one more traditional. I use poster to advertise importance of preserving environment. Yeah, so this one nothing much lah. Okay, just read and remember. And then, okay, this is the last one that we'll go through already. Okay, these two questions because the rest more or less the same already. Okay, this is water pollution. So based on diagram 11, explain the effects of construction of factories on the ecosystem. So in this diagram, you can see it's factory built near a river. But your answer, right, don't need to just focus on the river because factories also pollute the air. Correct? So the effects, right? Okay, but let's talk about water first. River, mainly that's the main thing. Question I want you to explain. So usually factories, right, will release a lot of chemical toxic substance. So you can say that factories will release chemical waste into river. Okay, which you can say harm the aquatic food chain or animals. Okay, then another thing that I like to explain a lot in these kind of questions, right, is usually factories or those kind of power plant, they sometimes also release hot water into the river, which cause thermal pollution. So you also can say factories, but this question didn't give power plant and they say factories, you can say releases also hot water into river, which causes thermal pollution, whereby it increases temperature of water. So when water temperature increases too high, number one, animals will start to die because it will disrupt their what we call biochemical reactions. So you can say which disrupts biochemical reaction of aquatic animals and then causing them to die. And then when they die, they'll be decomposed by bacteria. So the oxygen level will then decrease. So usually we always can then relate to this thing called what the BOD level of water increases. So BOD water increase means that the oxygen level is low. Okay, so you also can say that, which reduces oxygen level in water. So actually you explain thermal pollution, right? Your marks already more than enough already. But we still haven't talked about air pollution, right? So you also can say that this factory release a lot of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, which cause air pollution, cause acid rain also can. A lot of things you can say then you want to say it release soot and dust. Then you deplete air quality. You want to say the dust covers the stomata of the leaf, then reduce photosynthesis of plants. Also can. Like a lot of things you can say on this one. Okay, so this one I mainly mentioned water pollution. Then here got a K-but question. How the water quality of river can be enhanced to make sure the habitat of aquatic organism is not affected? Means how do I reduce water pollution? Okay, number one, the factories. So what you can say is you can say reduce building of factories by the river. Means you don't let people build factories or. And number two, right, because typo building. Because sometimes your factory already there. You cannot just demolish the factory. So therefore, you need to create laws to make sure they don't release a lot of chemicals into the river. So you can say set limit on how much chemical waste can be released into river by factories. And for hot water, you must ask them to treat the hot water, cool it down first, let it cool down before releasing. So you can say treat hot water before releasing it into river. And then these kind of questions, right, we always can use campaign, host those kind of awareness and educational campaign. So basically, these are the things you can say. So number three, the first three is more directly related. Then when it comes to this kind of how to overcome questions, usually you can say campaign, awareness, educational campaign. So the rest you can try yourself. Like I say, these notes are already down there in the link, got answers also, like green technology, meaning we just did just now already. Okay, so good luck for your exams. Hope this actually helped you on chapter 10 punya essay. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye bye.